Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Kicking off today's video with the tale of corporate stubbornness and one worker's absolute masterclass in outlasting bad policies. When management thinks they know better but ends up wasting thousands of dollars and weeks of productivity, you know things are about to get interesting. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Seeing through the nonsense. How I turned a ridiculous safety policy into a company-wide policy change. A few years ago, the management at the company where I work made a decision to implement a new policy on the use of safety glasses. When I was a member of the safety committee, I was given the responsibility of locating a firm that could provide our staff with safety glasses that were able to suit them. And with a new criteria, it had to pass a pencil fit test. By this I mean a regular pencil should not be able to pass around any part of the glass to enter the eye area. A tight fit, as it were. I called around and found a company that was able to come out and provide us with a choice of 120 different models and styles to choose from. This would allow us to fit everyone, from fat to thin faces, tall, slim faces, hawk-shaped, big-nosed, you name it, we'd be able to get them fit. I thought that was in the bag, piece of cake, or any other platitude you can think of. I almost dislocated my arm patting myself on the back. Well, of course, management has to step in and say, this doesn't work for us. Their solution? Find a company that has only 6 different styles of glasses and make it work. As I wear prescription lenses, these new style glasses were not designed for this. They only have inserts which are clipped on the inside. Well, to make the glasses pencil fit, the glasses fit, the frames are curved to fit your face, hence the insert is bent to fit the frame. Now just imagine taking your glasses and bending them to sit tight to your face. See how this distorts your vision? Now cue malicious compliance. I reported to my boss that I could not wear the new glasses as they distorted my vision and gave me headaches. Their solution was to have me try each model of glasses one at a time and get lenses made for them to see if I could find one that would work. Knowing that no matter what they did, wearing curved frames would not work, every time I got new lenses made, I made sure they were high-index, UV-resistant, tinted, scratch-resistant, and the best money could buy. I bought lenses for all 6 frame types at a cost of just over $7,000. At the end of this, I went to see my eye specialist and he wrote me a letter stating that I am not able to wear the new style glasses as they would damage my eyes. I took this letter into work and showed it to my boss. They didn't know what to do with me. I showed up for work every day, dressed and ready to work, but they never assigned me any work because it would be too dangerous. Even though I'd worn my old safety glasses for the last 25 years, suddenly it's too dangerous. So they had me just sitting in the lunchroom. I'd play games on the computer, I was going to night school, so I completed a semester of school and basically just screwed around. One day I was playing video games and our number 2 big boss walked in and saw me. I said, "Good morning," with a big smile and wave. He didn't. Couple of days later, our number 1 boss walked in while I was reading the newspaper and he asked me what I was doing and I said, "Reading the paper." He said, "Why?" I said, "They told me it's too dangerous out there for me." The next day I was back at work. 10.5 weeks I was off and suddenly the policy was changed. This is the kind of corporate nonsense that just begs for a dose of malicious compliance. The image of you lounging in the break room, gaming, reading the newspaper, or doing coursework while everyone else slogged through the day is glorious. It's even better imagining the higher-ups slowly realizing that their genius policy had left you completely unproductive, and they were still paying you. And our second story. We worked for everything we have. I live in the north of England, in what's seen as quite an affluent area. Not that all of us who live here are affluent. There are definitely 2 ends of town, and I live in the more down-to-earth end of town. At the other end, you see lots of new Mercedes, Audi, BMW, Lexus, and now Tesla cars being driven around. I drive a 6-year-old Ford. You get the idea. What we do have near me are a few really excellent artisan shops. There's a butcher selling some of the best beef I've ever tasted, We have a craft brewery, a coffee roaster, and a patisserie that would not be out of place in France. We also have a small supermarket, and this is where this all takes place. Just up the road, we have what we call a special school. It deals with young adults with a range of mental and physical disabilities. The carers work one-on-one with the kids, and they take them out to shops to get them into shopping independently. Those of us who live here know the carers, know the kids, and always have a chat when they're in the shops. It's lovely to see some of them when they make independent purchases. This is where Karen comes into play. I'd gone into the supermarket to pick up a few things for dinner tonight and bumped into one of the carers I know from volunteering. She told the girl she was with to carry on around the shop and collect her shopping. As we were chatting, I saw a Tesla pull up in the disabled spot outside, and Karen walks in. I mentioned as she passed that she shouldn't be in the disabled spot, and she just looked straight past me and carried on. Shortly after, there was a raised voice in the carer, and I heard, "Don't just stand there looking stupid. Go and get me a bottle from the back, now." The kids all wear a lanyard and badge around their neck telling you they're at the school, and this must have confused Karen. As we rounded the corner, we saw a terrified disabled kid in tears and Karen standing there. The next words out of her mouth were, "This place gets worse. They must be employing morons now." The carer stepped in and said, "You need to stop now. This girl's in my care and is disabled. Can you not see she has Downs?" Karen responded and said, "They shouldn't be out with normal people and you should be controlling her." The carer was dumbstruck. It was at this point I decided it was time I chipped in. What sort of person thinks their expensive car gives them the right to park where disabled have a space reserved for them and then hurl abuse at a disabled person being given the opportunity to start living their life as independently as they can? Karen came back with the, "We worked for everything we have." In the North, we have a term for describing people with money and no class, and I loved her face when I turned back to her and said, "No, love, you're just all fur coat and no knickers." No major histrionics at the end. She just stormed out. Nobody got arrested. We calmed the girl down and helped her finish her shopping. And I told her not to worry. Not everyone's as sad as Karen was. This story's equal parts heartwarming and infuriating. Some people wield their entitlement like a weapon. Karen waltzing into the store with her Tesla attitude, parking in a disabled spot she has no business using, and then berated a young disabled girl? That's a trifecta of audacity. The community vibe in this story shines through. Your care for the kids and support for the carer proves that kindness and decency still win. And our last story. This house is not for sale. It all started with an unexpected knock at my door. A polished woman, clipboard in hand, introduced herself as a representative of a real estate company interested in buying my home. She flashed a smile and offered 5% above market value, which conveniently for them was a gross undervaluation of my property. "Sorry," I said politely, "but my home's not for sale." She wasn't deterred. Over the next 3 days, she returned with new offers, first increasing it to 7.5% over market value and then to 12%. Each time I refused, growing more frustrated. The last time she came, I was outside tending to my yard. "Good news," she chirped. "We've upped our offer to 12% above market value. Surely we can work something out." That's when I snapped. "Do you have kids? A pet?" I asked abruptly. She hesitated, confused. "Yes, I have a son and 2 cats. Why?" I crossed my arms. "How much for your son? I'll give you $15,000 and $2,000 for the cats." Her jaw dropped. "What? Those aren't for sale." "Exactly," I shot back. "Neither is my house. Now get off my property and don't come back." Her face hardened. "Listen," she said icily, "we've been trying nice. Your house will be sold one way or another. We have other legal means to get what we want." I wasn't intimidated. "Get off my property," I said firmly. She stormed off, but I knew this was just the beginning. It wasn't just me. The entire neighborhood was under siege. Families were fielding relentless offers from the same company, and a few had already sold, lured by quick cash. But most of us weren't budging. Our neighborhood wasn't just a cluster of houses, it was a community. We knew each other's names, helped each other in tough times, and shared memories in this little corner of the world. That's when I decided to fight back. I formed the Save Our Neighborhood group and began organizing. We held our first meeting in my backyard, and to my surprise, nearly everyone showed up. Some were angry, some were scared, and others just didn't know what to do. I shared my story, and soon others chimed in. One neighbor said the company had threatened to take legal action. Another revealed they'd been harassed with daily calls. The breaking point came when an elderly couple tearfully admitted they were afraid to answer their door because of the relentless pressure. Enough is enough, I said. We're not just going to sit back and let them bulldoze our lives. The next day, I reached out to local journalists. I didn't just share my story, I shared everyone's. I introduced them to Jim and Carol, a retired couple who had planted the same rose bushes in their yard 50 years ago when they bought their home. I told them about Maria, a young widow raising 2 kids in a house where her late husband had lovingly painted murals in their bedrooms. These weren't just houses. They were homes filled with history and heart. Meanwhile, we dug into the company's plans and discovered they intended to use eminent domain laws to force sales. This wasn't just unethical, it was predatory. With this information, we doubled down on our efforts, staging rallies, writing petitions, and holding press conferences. The real estate company tried to counter with glossy ads about their luxury resort plans, but they only made things worse. No one wanted to see their community turned into a soulless playground for the rich. After months of relentless pressure, the company finally caved. The bad press, legal hurdles, and mounting public outrage made the project untenable. They officially withdrew their plans. The news was met with cheers throughout the neighborhood. The Save Our Neighborhood group transformed into a permanent community organization. We started a shared garden project, organized block parties, and set up a fund to help older residents with home repairs. This is such a satisfying win. First off, that "how much for your son and cats" response was perfect. You turned their relentless harassment back on them in the best way possible. Honestly, the audacity of these real estate vultures thinking they could just strong-arm an entire neighborhood is wild. Love how they underestimated you all and got absolutely wrecked by the bad press and public backlash. Now you've turned your win into something positive for everyone. That's the ultimate "don't mess with us" energy. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.